Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Not Triggered the podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Purchase, and I'm so glad you're here with me today because today we're covering a doozy, radical acceptance. I don't want to waste your time, so let's just jump in. Oh, radical acceptance, how I loathe thee. What is radical acceptance? Well, a radical acceptance is fully accepting reality as it is without judgment, whether we like it or not. And that can be pretty hard when our reality is pretty shitty. So, radical acceptance has helped me when my life was falling apart. Accepting the things I had done, how I got to where I was, is what precipitated my ability to change any of it. Before you make any changes in your life, you have to accept the reality of where you are. If you want to lose 10 pounds, you have to accept the fact that, well, you want to lose 10 pounds. If you want to make more money, you're going to have to accept the fact that you want to make more money. Like you need more money. If you want to have healthier relationships, you're going to have to accept the fact that you have unhealthy ones. That's not easy to do. Radical acceptance is a skill all by itself because it's hard and it's a practice. I don't radically accept everything. I don't expect you to. But radically accepting our reality does lessen our overall emotional suffering. And when you have less emotional suffering, it frees up a lot of energy to do other things, which is a great thing. That's what we want, right? We want to feel better, don't we? Oftentimes that means feeling shitty at first. So radical acceptance is a skill that allows us to stop fighting and start living. We don't have to fight against life anymore. We can live with life. So we accept reality as it is. It's not approving things. It's not saying things are okay. It's not condoning anything, but it's accepting it. When I was going through the separation with my wife, I remember I came over to the house to talk to her, and I knew it was not going to be a good talk. I didn't know how bad it would be, but I knew it wasn't going to be good. And when I got in the door, I kind of knew what was up ahead. So when we sat down and she starts crying and the words, "I think I want a divorce," come out of her mouth, that was a real shitty day. That was a really hard moment. It was really hard for me to accept that. Like, I actively thinking about it now, I think I actively was, like, arguing against that. I was like, "No way, you don't really mean that," you know? She did. She did mean it. And in order for me to not get divorced, I had to accept that she wanted a divorce because of these things. The good news is once I accepted that's kinda what she wanted, I had a really good blueprint about for the things that I could change and maybe turn the relationship around. And that's what happened for me, luckily. That may not happen for everyone, and I understand that. But I had to accept the fact that my relationship was in a bad place, and I was part of that problem. I was part of the reason why it was in a bad place, and I had to accept a responsibility for my part in that and how to make amends and rectify and heal the harm that I'd caused. I couldn't change anything until I accepted the fact that things needed to change, right? Why would we change things if we don't have to, if things are going well? We're not going to change things if things are going well, usually, right? We don't change things until we really feel like we need to, because change is horribly uncomfortable. That is also another reason why radical acceptance can be so difficult. Now, let me be very clear. Radical acceptance is not condoning anything. It's not approving. It's not disapproving. It's not judging. It's not liking it, right? It's just accepting what is. I changed my curtains back here recently, right? Now they're gray. That's a factual thing, right? Maybe someone that's watching hates it. Maybe they liked the other curtains better, right? But you have to radically accept, I'm not going to change it back. It's gray. I know this is a stupid example, but it's a simple one that kind of illustrates the point, right? How do we practice radical acceptance though. Like I had there's somebody that I knew a while ago whose son had passed, 12-year-old son had passed away from cancer, which was a very long, years long, horrible process from what I understand. And it sounds horrible. I know somebody else who's lost a son to suicide. I know people that have lost parents young. I know people that have had to walk away from relationships because they weren't healthy. I'm not saying you need to radically accept, like that your kid died, but radically accepting someone's death doesn't change the fact that they died or how they died or why they died. But accepting the death allows us to stop fighting the reality of the death, and it gets us into the grieving process. And then we carry these people in our hearts and we go on and try to live our lives as best as we can, right? If we don't radically accept maybe the passing of somebody that we loved deeply, we're going to be stuck in this misery until we die. Do we want to live that way? Would the people that love us want us to live that way? Probably not. I'm not saying radically accepting your kid's death means that you approve it and you're happy about it. Fuck, of course I'm not. Of course not. That's like obviously not, right? But accepting the fact that it happened will help free up resources inside that will allow you to grieve and still carry them with you as you live your life. Radical acceptance is not about giving up. You're not powerless now. You're not saying, fuck it, I'm done. That's not it. Radical acceptance is just taking things as they are, as they come, whether you like it or not. How do you know you need to radically accept something? When you don't want to. That's how. When you feel the urge to defend or fight against or argue with reality, that's a great indication that there's some radical acceptance that needs to happen there, whatever that is. But why does this work? Well, pain is inevitable, as they say, right? But suffering is optional. And this is why suffering is optional, because if you can radically accept something shitty or something good, really, but something shitty, that frees up our resources to move beyond it or move with it anyway and move forward. Because freedom comes when we accept what is instead of fighting against what we have and trying to change it. You cannot make your abusive spouse stop abusing you. You've tried. You can't make your alcoholic stop drinking. You've tried. You can't make somebody acknowledge a reality for you that's really important and they're unable to. Like you've tried to do that. You can't make somebody call you when you've asked them 100 times. It'd be great if you would call me. You just have to accept that they ain't gonna call, right? Even though it hurts. But that allows us the resources to do something else. So the point of radical acceptance is just about accepting our reality as it is to reduce our internal suffering, which sounds not like a big thing, right? But it's a huge thing. It's a huge improvement. When you can radically accept where you are, that helps you figure out how you can get to where you want to be, right? You cannot change anything that you can't accept. That's just the way that change works. You have to have acceptance before you can change anything. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or just type radical acceptance so I know that you watched till the end. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing an awesome giveaway, and I definitely know that you're going to want to be here for that. If you like the episode, hit subscribe and like, and please tell your friends. You can find me on Substack, and that link is below and right up there at the top. If you liked this video and you want to know more about regulating your emotions, you can check out this one next. I think you'll like it. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take good care of yourself.